Is there anyone that, like, again, don't have to name names, but you're like, that isn't a Bregman or a Yordan Alvarez that people don't know, and it's just like someone who isn't as good, but for some reason, man, you just can't seem to get them out, or it's just a tough at bat?
Yes, that happened to me. I don't go to name names in that.
Welcome to the Top Step presented by Warrior Injury Law. If you're injured, contact attorney Rob Inns at 253-WARRIOR, battle tested. How we going, mates? Welcome to the Top Step. My name is Ryan Rowland-Smith. We've got a great show today. I go down to T-Mobile Park and interview one of the most dominant closers in baseball. Yes, Andrés Muñoz joins me right after the break. And by the way, speaking of, are we witnessing the greatest closer in Mariners history? Look, we dive into that on I's and the M's coming up. Also, if you missed this topic, I need you to go back, pay attention before you do any All-Star voting. Is J.P. Crawford American League All-Star worthy? I break it down in last week's episode. I make a pretty good case. Go to YouTube at the Top Step TV and click the subscribe button. Go watch the past episodes. You can catch all my breakdowns, all the extra content, making these your favorite Mariner players speak Australian, and plenty more. Or follow us on social media at the Top Step TV. Shout out to Ryan Ledford and Brian Wright. The boys help me out on the show, on the channel. Some of the epic content you see. They're some of the guys who helped me create that on the TTS social at the Top Step TV. Okay, so I ask you, is Andrés Muñoz the greatest closer, or will be the greatest closer in Mariners history? Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Cal Raleigh, look, he's breaking all the records left and right, quickly becoming one of the greatest to do it in a Mariners uniform. We need to have, by the way, a weekly Cal Raleigh update, home run update segment or something. We're going to come up with something good, man. It is crazy the rate he's on. But is there another Mariner that we're witnessing who is destined to be the greatest closer in Mariners history? All right, so let's break it down in this week's Eyes on the M's, brought to you by King LASIK. Hey, mates, if you're ready for freedom from hassling with glasses and contacts, do what I did. Go to King LASIK. It was the best decision I ever made for my eyes. The procedure was easy, and it was over in under 15 minutes. Start with a free Zoom consult at kinglasik.com. Okay, the greatest closer in Mariners history is Andrés Muñoz. I know it's a big call. I get it. And plus there's some nostalgia, even including with me. Let's look at the numbers and the context and how he stacks up against the best to ever do it in a Mariners uniform. Okay, first, let's talk about the saves, the most basic closer stat. Here are the top names on the Mariners all-time leaderboard. You got Kazuhiro Sasaki, 129 saves. Remember 2001, I get it. Then you got Edwin Diaz. JJ Putz is number 3. And then Mike Schooler, who I honestly hadn't heard of before digging into this. And of course, oh, by the way, hey, Mike, listen, if you're watching, hopefully you are. Good on you, dude. I dived into your numbers. You're a stud. And of course, honorable mention, he's been on the show before. It's my brother-in-law, David Artsma. He pops up quite a bit. He had a nice little dominant run himself. Now, Andrés Muñoz, he's already at 57 saves as a Mariner. 58 career, yes, 57 as a Mariner. And guess what? He's only 26 years old. If he averages anywhere close to like 30 saves a year, in the next couple seasons, he'll pass Sasaki and become the all-time saves leader in franchise history before he even hits 30. That part seems inevitable. But being the leader in that stat doesn't always just mean you're the greatest. So let's go a little bit deeper. All right, ERA. Muñoz has a career ERA of 2.31 with the Mariners. That's elite, but he's got some innings to make up, right? So he still needs over 100 innings to catch JJ, who, by the way, is the innings leader when it comes to some of these top closers. So he's got some room to make up there. I get it, some time on the field. But when you look at effectiveness, he's already at the top of the pile. Look, WAR, wins above replacement. He's already racked up a 4.9 career WAR as a Mariner. That puts him third behind Edwin Diaz and JJ Putz, even though he hasn't had nearly as many opportunities yet. He's catching up quick. Now, what about some of the dominance? Strikeout percentage. Who was the most dominant in terms of pure swing and miss or strikeout percentage? That's Edwin Diaz, number 1. No surprise. That 2018 season was Outrageous. Munoz is right behind him at number 2. Sasaki rounds out the top 3. But if we're talking about pure swing and miss ability, Munoz is actually number 1 whiff rate. The number of swings and misses he generates, he's number 1. That puts him above Diaz and even above David Arzma, who, by the way, had some wipeout stuff, and he's up there in some of these categories. All right, what about high leverage situations? Talking about, Fangraphs has a leverage index, high, medium, and low. This one's important because it's about handling pressure, right? And again, it's all about win probability. We haven't got time to dive into that. Basically, how much is a game on the line when a pitcher comes in to those high leverage spots? So if you take away some of the non-save situations and all that, JJ Putz has the best ERA. Munoz, he's number 2, which tells you it doesn't just rack up the strikeouts in some of the lower stress innings. He performs when the lights are brightest. Okay, what about save percentage? So in other words, he gets X amount of save chances. How many times does he convert the save? So this is the one knock on Andrés Muñoz so far. Diaz and David Arzma were both up there around 90% save conversion. Wow, that's elite. Munoz, he's at 78%. That's the lowest in this group. And that's, by the way, even lower than Fernando Rodney, if I dare say. That's a little bit of a concern when it comes to the blown saves, no doubt. But again, I'll say this. He's 26 years old. Let's look at the others, right? JJ Putz debuted in the big leagues at 26. Kaz Sasaki had all that time in Japan. He started when he was in his early 30s. So Munoz is doing all of this at an age where most closers are still trying to figure out that they're going to be the closer on a team. So the big picture, if Munoz stays healthy and stays in a Mariners uniform for the rest of his just 20s, he's got every tool, the elite stuff, strikeout dominance, high leverage success, and now the opportunity to chase history. He's on pace to be the greatest closer the Mariners have ever had. Yes, the save percentage needs to improve. I get it. Longevity, it's a key. But when we are watching the rise of a potential all-time great in Seattle, we may not fully appreciate it until it's done. I feel like that sometimes when we talk about Cal Raleigh. I mean, he's talking bronze statues numbers. So next time Munoz jogs in from the pen and that splitter and that slider and that two-seam fastball goes with the 99, starts just putting hitters away, know this. You might be watching Mariners history in the making. Speaking of history, Andrés Muñoz joins me right after the break for the first time. I can't wait to talk to this guy. So you don't want to miss it. Stick around right here on the Top Step.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ann, who broke her leg in a trip and fall accident.
I had broken my femur and I was in horrific pain. We chose Warrior because they had a good reputation. I wasn't just a name, I was a person, and that makes a big difference. I'm just grateful that we had the settlement for my care. I'm very pleased.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
All right, welcome back to the Top Step. It's time for the San Juan Seltzer interview. I have got all-star closer sitting next to me, Andrés Muñoz. Andrés, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Hey, listen, I'm going to get straight to this. Before the show, before we jumped on, I was asking you some of the regular questions, how you met your wife. Now, I asked you, I said, you met in high school, and you said, well, we met at track and field.
Yes.
Tell the story, man.
So
you tell it. I had no idea.
Before I did it at the same time that I was playing baseball,
yeah.
But at the age of 12, I started earlier, but I started to do track and field like for real when I was 12.
Like
15.
seriously, not just messing around.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was a triple jumper.
What? I had no idea. Triple jump. Because that's pretty niche, right? I mean, like, long jump, or you run track, you run a 200 meter.
Mm-hmm.
But what got you into triple jump?
I start to, at that age, you have to run 75 meters. You don't run 100.
Right.
Then we tried the 75 meters. I was good, but not good enough to be competitive with other guys, other kids.
Yeah.
And then we tried the long jump. I was good in the long jump, but not that much.
Okay.
And in triple jump, I was obviously being humble.
Right.
I was really good.
Yeah, because you said you went to the nationals a couple times.
Yes, 2 times.
My God, man. So, even at that age, were you okay? I want to get to you as a teenager here and as a kid too, because it's fascinating. We see all these kids trying to throw gas and everything. You throw really hard, obviously. So, at that age, did you have coaches and people say, "Hey, listen, this is your future, track and field. We want you to take this seriously"?
Not really, because at that age, you have like a some like you say, if at 13 you jump 13 meters, it's good.
Yeah, gotcha.
But you can never. It's really hard to go like over that. Like after 13, after 14 meters, it's really hard to go more than that.
Gotcha.
So you never know if you ever going to do. You can train like a lot, and you can still doing the same 14 meters for all your life.
Yeah, gotcha.
So they say it's really hard to know if you're going to like get better in that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you work for get better, but you never know if you're going to get better.
Yeah, and it gets it gets tough, man. Especially too when you're growing and kids get stronger all of a sudden at 15. This kid all of a sudden gets bigger and stronger. What did your wife do? Track and field?
She did 800 meters and 1500 meters.
Wow. How long did she keep that up? Like competitively?
Oh, she did it for like 5 years.
Really? Wow.
5 years. Then both of us got hurt, and we didn't do that anymore.
Do you guys watch the Olympics?
Yes.
And you're paying attention, triple jumps, and oh yeah, man, he messed that up.
You know that one weird thing was like, I think it was last year when it was the Olympics, right?
Yeah, was it last year? Yeah, 24. Yeah.
I was so excited to watch, and you know that by the time that they are doing the Olympics over there, was like 3 a.m.
Right.
But I know that I have to make sure that I am rested for come here and play. But at the same time, I had so much.
Right.
I want to watch all the Olympics.
So is that why, that was what, early August? Is that why all of a sudden you're giving up hits, man? He was up till 3 a.m. watching triple jump.
No, I didn't do that. But my wife was the one who was doing that, and and as soon as she saw something that was like what we used to do, like 800, 1500, or triple jump or javelin throw. I used to do javelin, but just a little bit because it's too much for the elbow. But as soon as we saw something like that, she woke me up.
Right, gotcha.
And I said, okay, let's see this and then sleep ahead.
Welcome back to The Top Step. This segment is brought to you by Olympic Hot Tub, a daily soak in a saltwater hot spring spa, a swim in an endless pool swim spa, or a therapeutic session in a Tylo sauna. Are ways Olympic Hot Tub can help you feel, live, and be better. Start today at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. All right, let's get back to T-Mobile Park with Andrés Muñoz.
When you signed to come over with the Padres, how hard were you throwing when you signed?
90. The last time that they met me before the sign was 96.
96. Okay. So you were pumping mid 90s as what? Like we're talking 8. You signed when you were like 17, 18.
16.
16. So you signed pretty early. Okay. So you were pumping mid 90s at that age, and then what do you feel like got you to get into being 98 to 100?
Probably the time.
Like just the time, like
the body more mature.
Right. Yeah.
And one of the other things, like I telling you this, like 90, I threw 96, 97, but I didn't throw a single strike. That was the other thing.
I was getting there.
When I was in rookie league, I had the same amount of innings, was the same amount of walks that I did. So that is what I say. That it has to be natural. It has to be like with time.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I say in this because I want like the other kids know about this. Like, you don't have any rush. Like, you're going to get there at some point. Obviously, it's good that you're doing stuff to throw harder, but it's not just throw hard. It's throw strikes.
Yeah.
So you can throw hard everywhere, but how are you going to do it for like getting the point that you wanted? And my point saying that was like, yes, I threw hard, but I threw everywhere.
Well, at what point and what was it that got you in the strike zone?
The reps.
Just the reps.
I didn't use the reps. I started to throw in, and then I remember one day I felt like really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad bullpen. And then I was just focusing, obviously don't point to use one place because I can't do that.
Right.
But I said, I'm just going to throw right in the middle.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
I don't going to make the catcher move. You set right in the middle, and I'm going to try to throw it there.
Right.
Obviously, I miss, but I miss around that area.
Right.
And that was when I started to like. Obviously, I don't know how far it's going to be from the plate, but I was on the strike zone, and that is when I started to throw strikes.
I try and tell kids that all the time, man. Like, no balls, no strikes. Just have the catcher sit up down the middle. Like, unless you are like ridiculous, just throw it down the middle and then go from there. Yes. And then that's just that starting point. All right, I want to get into this. So, last year you make the All-Star team, and now here you are just dominating here at the major league level. When you first got to the Seattle, I remember I kind of had a conversation with you about this, but you were throwing a lot of sliders, right? A lot of breaking balls. And you did make a comment, I don't know if you remember this, you're probably like, no, I never said that, but you did say this to me. You said that you didn't feel confident with your fastball at times. And I was like blown away. I'm like, dude, you're throwing 100. Like, do you remember those days? Like, first time you come off TJ, you got traded over to the Mariners, and you were slider heavy. Do you remember those days where it's like there was a certain pitch you just didn't feel comfortable with?
I remember at that time I was feeling really comfortable with the slider for some reason.
Yeah, right.
But the fastball, I didn't have the feeling of it.
Okay.
So I didn't have the ability of if I'm going to throw the fastball, I wasn't able to get it like up.
Gotcha.
So I leave it right in the middle.
Gotcha.
Or I leave it down, and that is where and that is why I wasn't with confidence on throwing that pitch.
I understand. Okay, so basically you just didn't have the feel where it's end up down the middle. You get some of that contact, and you're like, oh man.
Probably the most of the hard contacts that I was having was with the fastball, but that was the reason because I didn't have the feeling of it, and I leave everything in the middle.
Right.
So obviously they want to hit it. It's the big leagues. They can hit everything. Doesn't matter how hard.
Can you show me how you throw? First of all, your four seam. How you can put it up to the camera? Just a regular four seam. Just try and let it eat, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your thought? You talked about like when you're in A ball trying to get to basically throwing down the middle and figuring out. What's your approach now? I mean, are you like? Is there any visual you're looking at when you're throwing?
I saw the mask.
Okay.
The mask, because obviously, when I am 0-0, I try to throw right in the middle.
Okay.
Obviously, I never hit the right.
Right.
Even with all these years, I am not able to command 100%.
Gotcha.
Like George is really good doing that. I am like a little bit different with that, but I try to throw right in the middle. I never hit there. I hit around, but I want to throw it right.
So you're looking at the mask basically with the four seam. Now, what about the two seam? How are you gripping that?
The two seam,
just like that. And are you basically just not trying to do any manipulation, just straight?
Just try to throw it the hardest I can too. Right in the middle too,
and make
to
it
be able
go.
to.
Yeah, dude, it gets down into righties. I'm like, oh, that's nasty.
What I like about the pitch is like when have the drop.
Yeah, right.
I don't like when the ball is going like this.
It stays on the plane.
Stays in the same line. I like when that thing drops.
And then how you throw your slider? Just like that. And what's your thought when you're throwing a slider?
I think fastballs all the time.
Okay.
And at the last moment, I do like the
Like you turn a doorknob, basically. Like
No,
stand on
no,
top?
I don't try to do that, but I am just very careful of don't leave it like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't know if you understand that. Like,
Yeah.
Like don't
Try and stay on top of it.
yes, try and stay on
basically.
top of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
but don't
Just bury
without
it.
pushing it.
Gotcha.
Because if I pushing it down, he's like,
Yeah.
then he's going to be.
And what's if you lose your slider at times, like let's say you lose it or it's coming out of the side of your hand, is there like a little like trigger or mechanical thing that you go back to try and get back to it? Or is it maybe the simplest, dumbest thing?
Actually, that happened to me like probably like 4 outings.
Okay.
And I wasn't able to
Right.
probably you saw it. I wasn't able to control it to.
Are you talking about the two where you
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember you against the Twins, like the ball was kind of coming out the side a little
Yes,
bit. Yeah.
and I wasn't able to figure it out. And
Right.
that was one thing that get me mad. At that point was like, I'm supposed to know what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
But at that time, I wasn't able to figure it out. Now I know what
Right.
was happening. Normally, my mindset is like, if I am missing that way or the ball is sleeping
Right.
that way, probably just like saw a point more in the left side.
Yeah.
And try to like push it
Gotcha.
a little bit.
Gotcha.
But yes, those 2 games was weird because I feel like my slider is good because of my fastball, and my fastball is good because of my slider.
Right.
So when I don't have one of the two, that is a good time to go for
Throw
it.
that. Shoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's wild. Is there any? Actually, I don't want to make you name names here because everyone knows you, and you're one of the best pitchers in the game. So in case you do have to face him, but you have to name names here. Is there like a guy who you faced the last couple of years? Like, I just can't get him out. Like, if I'm throwing 100 with this and this slider's working that day, but for whatever reason, this guy just sees me. That you're like, oh man, I hate when this guy's at the box. You don't have to name names. You can just does that happen?
Oh yes, of course. I can name names. I don't really.
Go for it. Huh?
The guy who is with the Red Sox, Alex Bregman.
Really? Okay.
In 2022, I had like in my opinion, was like the best slider that I had was like 92, 93 going down.
Right.
Fastball, 101. I don't know, like, and I was really good like placing it.
Yeah.
The pitches, and I remember him and Jordan Alvarez. I remember throwing them the best slider that I ever threw, and they still hitting it. They still hitting it. Here in the playoffs, like, and I was like changing the views. Okay, he got a homer with the slider. I don't want to throw a slider again. So I threw the fastball up, and he got a hit over there.
Right.
Then we came here in the playoffs, and I threw. I say, okay, now he got me the 2 of my pitches. I have to throw something out of the sun.
Right.
I threw a fastball up and away, and he hit me a double. And I was like, this guy is like, he got me really good.
Is there anyone that, like, again, don't have to name names, but you're like, that isn't a Bregman or a Yordan Alvarez that people don't know, and it's just like someone who isn't as good, but for some reason, man, you just can't seem to get him out, or it's just a tough at bat?
Yes, that happened to me. I don't want to name names in that. But he got me really good too. And that is why I say a lot of times, like, there is a reason of why he's the big leagues and why are the best of the best here.
Right.
Because you can say in anybody like, oh, I just going to throw it right there and nothing is going to happen. Because you can never like be too like easy in somebody. You have to attack everybody the same, because everybody can do you damage.
Right.
And that is why I always repeat myself to have the same effort and the same energy, same 100% to everybody, because you never know.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ed, who suffered a neck injury in a highway pileup.
Had a bulged disc in my neck. It was pinching my spinal cord, so reached out to Rob. It was amazing. Their whole team were honest and kept me informed, like they were actually interested in helping me, not just a number. I'm very pleased with the outcome. I would definitely choose these guys any time of the week.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Now, Andres, I've kept you for too long. By the way, you didn't even know I was Australian. You didn't even know Liam Hendricks was Australian, by the way. I come to find out, yes, Liam Hendricks, the pride of Australia, he is Australian as well. He's been on this show, by the way. But it's time for How to Speak Australian, brought to you by the Kangaroo and Kiwi. Now, Andres, there's a term we say in Australia a lot. It's called fair dinkum, right? First of all, can you say the words fair dinkum?
Fair dinkum.
Not bad, that's not bad. Now, I'm gonna give you multiple choice. What does fair dinkum mean, all right? Is it a term regarding the weather? Does it mean something that's like, it's very true, like it's a true statement? If someone was to say fair dinkum, is it a true statement? Is it to do with the weather? Or does it have to do with like an event, like a party or something, like some sort of event you'd go to with your friends? What do you got?
I got for the second one, the true.
Like true, like that? You
Yes.
go on number two? Okay, all right. Before I'm gonna give him the answer, if you wanna play along at the Top Step TV on social media, you let me know. Do you know what the word fair dinkum is? I'm telling you, Andres, dude, you got it, mate. You nailed it. Fair dinkum. If someone says, "Oh, fair dinkum," it's like a true statement. It's like it's the real deal. Doesn't even sound English, does it?
No. I was thinking about a donkey.
I should have done that, but that should have been option number 4. Yeah, fair dinkum.
No, but the way that you say it, the way that you describe the number 2,
right?
fair
dinkum. Yeah. I was trying to throw like a big spectrum of stuff. Andres, this has been awesome, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We love watching you pitch, and yeah, this has been fun. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.